So we come to this lecture, which is a continuation of the last lecture. We're going to look into the main body of business plan, and one of it is actually in the making of administration and organizational plan. And here we cover that in detail. These are the outline of this lecture. We're going to look into the definition of management, its function itself, what is the purpose or function of your company, and then coming up with vision, mission, objective, goal settings, and then in making the organizational structure. If you have so many workers where they need to be put in each of the department, this also is related to the org chart or organizational chart. And then there are various types of org chart, and then preparing the plan at the end. Of course, even organizational and administrative plan includes its budget. That will be also covered either here or in the financial plan. So now we start based on the definition of management. And for the definition, it is given by this Mary Parker Foley. And she, apart from being a philosopher, she's also a consultant for management, but she's no longer around. This probably she was a management consultant in last century or so. Okay. So she say it is the art of getting things done through other people. That seems to be very clear about bosses, right? Uh, they are able to, not to say make use, they are able to influence people below them, subordinates, in order to ensure uh, what the management's purpose is, goals are, objectives are, and successfully achieve it. So that's the meaning of management. Okay, and the process of planning all the resources efficiently is also the duty or task of the management group. Okay, sometimes it's not only a single boss, it's a few people coming together, and they are the one encompassing the management of a company, depending on how big is the company. So in terms of planning the resources, what is the meaning of resources? It refers to the capital, how to use the money that is available efficiently and without wastage. And then the manpower as well in ensuring the laborers, the workers are used effectively. Okay? And sometimes require the use of technology, either in softwares or in hardwares like equipment, machineries, and all these requires planning in purchasing and training and using them. And this is where the management looks after the planning necessary for these resources. So let's look at the four components which make up the functions of the management. We already know who are the management group. Those are the high ranked people in a company, and they sit in plan. Firstly, they plan. They look into making sure all resources that's already in existence in the company or to be looked into in acquiring to be planned and used in fully utilized rather than having a gap in any of the resources. Okay, and then they also organize. They look into what are all the tasks to be done, who will do it, and how to go about and accomplish it. That's the function of management group. So once the planning, organizing already been done, next is to lead, or you may say is to give the orders. So they are capable of giving this directive to the subordinates, and hopefully it's not accepted as order, rather than put it in a way that can be considered as a motivation to the subordinates, and freely accepted to be accomplished, carry forward to be accomplished. And then monitoring, after that, controlling, identifying the actual result achieved, not only giving or leading, or giving orders or directive, and also to monitor that the given directive actually brings out actual results. And if it's not achieving the result that is supposedly to be achieved, then looking into what corrective action can be done in order to finally achieve success. So that's the function of manager. So in the making of a business plan, you will see one of the components in the lengthy business plan preparation is actually vision. Vision can be easily defined as what your company aspire to be in a long run. Like some companies want to be in the top 500 companies that is doing well in the world level, but uh, not not to say it is achieved in this year itself. It's to be envisioned for the future. Okay, so same thing. Give an example here. TNB, Tenaga Nasional Berhad, their vision is to be among the leading corporation in energy-related business. And they're not concentrating in Malaysia alone. They are going globally. So this is considered a vision. Doesn't matter can achieve or cannot achieve. It is the vision of the future for TNB. Then you have also mission. What is the purpose of the company? Why the organization exists in the first place? So, for example, given TNB mission is they are committed to excellence in the products that, and also the services they provide to their customers. So that is their mission. Right. Some of the business plan not necessarily will have objective as well as goal, but objective and goal can be said as uh, near uh, uh, or a particular project's objective, or a particular project's goal for a company, for something of a short term, or a, intermediate or long term kind of direction. So objective is can be defined as hopes and plan to achieve, and it is also goals which has a performance target in place. Okay, and goals differing from one business to the other. Maybe service kind of business have different goals, while product manufacturing types of business will have a different goal altogether. So, when you have objective for a particular project in that company, obviously you also need to make sure it is in line with the goal, and the goal need to be smart, which has a measurable objective, or time frame, rather than just very abstract, uh, rather than just putting it as this product that is to be marketed, produced by our company, is to be successful. uh, not even defining how much number to be sold, when to achieve that number of sales within that time period. So you understand? So you need to set goals which are smart related. Okay, and these goals can be also set long term, intermediate, short term. Maybe quarterly, or annually, or even 5-year target, or 10 years target, like that kind of goal setting. Once you have managers, CEO, you also have COO. You need to put them with what task, what work to be done. So this is under the organizational structure, where you can build it by using these 3 steps. The first step is list all the work, uh, but make sure don't go and hire all the people yet, because this is planning. Maybe you can just put the designation first, maybe one accounts manager, marketing manager, operational manager, and only then list all their work uh, that need to be done in your company, and then put the group of those work, uh, or types of work, to be grouped together, and next is give it to that particular manager's department. So then only construct the org chart, they call it organizational chart. So this is the 3 steps in putting together. Or you can do this way, or you just take a org chart from another company, and then modify it. Hopefully, company, say, bakery. You are about to open a bakery, factory or bakery shop. Then hopefully you can get a org chart of similar, like Federal Bakery, and then you just change it to fit into your company. Also can be done like that. So next we look at org charts, or organizational chart, and basically it shows position, yeah, managers, supervisors, laborers, all that in a one piece paper, or one piece chart, that shows everyone, every position concerned. So it's a job position. It can be also having the names, and nowadays they even have the picture of the person. uh, but remember, this is not yet you already have the person already hired. This is the planning before go to actual company to be started up. So here you only may have the position, and then based on this, who has hierarchy, means who is higher in their ranking, who is the boss, and then who is below them. I guess it's also important, because then people listen to the boss, or not, go against. There is no understanding who is ranked higher than them. Okay, and then control, span of control, as in it's normally pyramid shaped, uh, and how far the control of a particular department head is covering. Okay, and then this organizational chart can be done different types. Okay, and I highlighted function because that's the one normally most common one found. You can go to many companies, and definitely in their website they will have org charts, then you can compare. So function is one of those popular ones. Let's look at each one in the following slides to come. Here is the common org chart, and this is based on function, and looks like the manager, the entrepreneur who started the company. This one can be also called, no need to call as manager, depending on how big is the company. Maybe he can also be, given a position of CEO or COO. Looks like here they just call him manager. And then he is in charge of administration. Maybe administration, if it's a bigger company, there is another manager, and marketing, operation, and also financial. So this is the meaning of spanning from like a pyramid shape for function, and this is the common one found in many organization. So here given another type org chart, and this one on product. So you may have, like Nestle. They have so many types of products. So each, supervisor or manager is in charge of a particular product. This also can be like a pharmaceutical company. I remember I was working in Pfizer, and there will be one marketing manager for one product, and then another for another product, like that. This instead is on the customer related. Usually this comes about like, a law firm. Maybe they have big law firm. Maybe they're in charge of customer one, maybe TNB, they're in charge. Customer two, maybe Maybank, like that. So law firms are usually going by customer related kind of departments. This one a bit rare, but still around. This one manager based on one supervisor in charge of 20 workers, another 15 workers, and then seven workers. I'm not sure any example I can give you because not familiar with such a type of separation. Then you also have this one based on region, and this one I can give example. Toyota, they have, North American region, South American, Asian region, Australian region to take care of in selling their automobile. So that is done by region. This could be manufacturing, production, or a factory kind of company that separates based on shift. Also can be also hospital. Hospital runs for 24 hours. Or simply food. Another example is like McDonald's fast food. So they want to run for 24 hours, like hospitals. Therefore, they can have 8-hour shift for each shift, so three shifts in a day, in 24 hours. So also separation based on shifts. Right. Next, we're going to look into how to prepare the organizational plan, how to plan for the running of the company or the business. First, you have to have the introduction. We will see in the next slides to come all these steps. Okay. And then develop an org chart based on what is all the tasks involved, and also separation based on function, or based on product, uh, that kind. And then the administrative personnel alone, separated from the operational side, separated based on the marketing side or the financial side, only those who are involved in admin. And then develop the schedule. What are the tasks and responsibilities of these admin personnel? They help out the big boss. So what each person, to help out. And then these admin staff's remuneration, that means, their salary and also other financial benefits to be taken into account in building the org plan. Okay? And then, of course, when they need assistance in the form of having office equipment, the fax machine, the photocopy machine, telephone, computers, stationaries, all need to be also considered in planning. And finally, estimating for all these requisites, including the manpower and putting a budget. So here the content of introduction of the organization. Obviously you will be given information here to read, and therefore helps you to make your business plan, part of your assignment. It's hypothetical, I hope, because you are not given the time and also resources, financial support to actually make a real company as much as I want you to learn. Okay, so make it very hypothetical. That means it's as realistic as possible, but suggestions only. Okay, so for your company, please provide under the introduction for organizational plan its vision, what you aspire the company to be, and then the mission, what's the purpose of the company, and then the objective or goal for that, to start up, what you plan to achieve within that, purpose, the duration, what is the measured or, smart way of putting the objective. Okay? So also given each explanation of vision, mission, objective. So look at it. And also come up with logo and motto. Let's look at the next slide to give some idea about introduction. So you see the example for a company. Looks like the type of company is private, not government. Okay, and also type of business, bakery shop, and therefore you see, logo has been done that seems to indicate, it is a bakery. And then product, not one type, many types of cupcakes, perhaps with different flavor. The name of company, Sweet Peace Bakery. Okay, so very much identifying food related. So when I mark, I look for this kind of connection for your company name and also the logo. And then vision to be among the creative and innovative leader in cupcake market. Okay, so that's the vision. And then mission to be committed in introducing new design and variety flavor in our cupcakes. Okay, goals given to be covering Klang Valley. Maybe it's only one, one branch at the moment. Okay? And number two also, friendliest service. Also got motto, made fresh for you. Okay, when it says made fresh, it means it's baked lah. Okay, so next is given the description on how to make the org chart, given information, whether to be which type. You can look into either products. In this case, if it's a bakery, maybe cupcakes, fruit flavored. Another one is cupcakes, uh, uh, maybe savory type. So these are org chart of different departments covering the sweet flavored cupcakes and savory types of cupcakes. So like that. So since this is administrative planning, so put all the list of administrative personnel. Normally, administrative personnel is all the big shots, the big bosses, managers, CEO. If it's smaller company, also include the supervisors. So the next slide we see better in an example. So here it's shown the planning of all the list of admin personnel that required to be hired. So there is no name here, or no Salma, Achong, or Mutu here, because it's just to indicate how many position required for that company. So it is looking into whether they have the feasibility also. Make sure when you plan, also can get the money, or if not, you already hire halfway need to ask them to leave. So next is to come up with all the tasks done by each of that personnel, the admin personnel, and then put it in all the tasks and responsibility in this table 2. So if you are very good in identifying each person's task has been done here, general manager, admin manager, hopefully you can go into really thorough. Then your planning is good. When you actually do it, the company will be in good position. If you make it so general, then later will have some problem. But like I say, you can always get these tasks and responsibilities even by going through, Job Street, other job advertisement. You can find in detail what is their function. Next, what about how much to pay them? And also all the government-related act concerning hiring somebody. So you have next to put the monthly salary. Hopefully, you also check what's the current salary for each of that position. Failing which, will be a big problem where you hire people or difficult to hire the person because you have undervalued the salary of that position. And then if you manage to hire, they might leave faster because they go to another company who pay more. Okay. Then also look into monthly salary, the EPF, the one that you contribute. The one you contribute is more important because the one contributed by the staff, not under the your planning, because you're just taking their money. But what to take from you, that 12% is good for planning your admin budget, and then SOCSO 2.5%, and all that. You also need to, maybe you also need to think about giving overtime for your laborers. All that you have to predict now itself. So here, given the example of remuneration, looks like everything is being stated, like monthly salary 2,200, a bit low, right? So that's why I say you have to look into the current salary scheme that is being paid for general manager. Okay. Sorry. Just now I mentioned 12%. EPF, that is under the Act of Malaysia, is 13% standard. You want to give higher also can, 14%, but 13% is the minimum cut from the monthly salary. So looks like the next thing in line in planning for organizational and also administrative plan is to come up with what is needed logistic wise, what is needed infrastructure wise within the company, the main office. So you need furniture, you need some perhaps to do some renovation, all that you need to list out here. So as you can see in an example given, you don't see what is in the side of the operation because that is dedicated to the operational budget. This one is just for the main office, what required for the admin personnel. So the next step is once you've done all those 6 other steps, now you can have a prediction of all the feasibility, the financial part of it. Now you can put it as estimate how much is required. So we can break it down into 3 areas. One is capex, or capital expenditure, also known as fixed asset cost. And this, when you start the company, this will be the major expenses, and it's also one-off. Once you purchase it, it's no longer needed to be done every month. I mean the beginning time only. Then the working capital is how you sustain the company every month. One of the working capital or monthly expenses required is for the salary. So make sure you plan, give a lot of thoughts about the working capital because you don't want to miss out in anybody's salary. So must plan nicely. Okay. Other expenses can be also said minor expenses. It won't be major like the working capital or capital expenditures. So shown here the admin budget. You have the major expenses to be on the fixed asset. That will be a big sum, but it's one off. And then every month you need to see and also need to predict how long you need to have this admin budget. Is it 1 year? Or is it going to be 6 months before you self-sustain? All that you need to predict. But once you self-sustain, then it can be done annually. Okay. You also have other expenses like deposit for the utility bill. If it's a new company, new premise, then you have to pay some deposit for to TNB to start off. So shown an example or admin budget. Assume this is for the bakery shop itself. You can see that to start off need 18,400 for the very first month, simply because it is taken into account the purchase of furniture and also renovation. But once already done that, the following month only comes to that 13,170. And the biggest sum to consider is actually salary and rent. So ensure you have that money for months to come until you self-sustain or get other loan or equity in place. So we have come to the end of this lecture, which is in preparation or one of the main body component, that is organizational and also administrative or administration plan that fits into the business plan. Okay, and for this, important to ensure the organization can be managed in proper structure. The more effort you take, or more thinking that you take to be as close to the realistic plan. Therefore, when you actually do it, it will be much easier for your company.